Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream, our early live stream for today. Sorry. We are going from Charles De Gaulle in Paris, France, down to Lisbon, Portugal. It is actually called the Humberto Delgado Airport. So, there we are. I guess I'm going to have to repeat that throughout the flight just in case we have anybody come in late, as usual. Anyway, let's get in here and get our plane set up, taxi out and get in the air and get on our way to Lisbon, Portugal. Not Lisbon, Spain, Lisbon, Portugal. Okay, sorry, I had to blow my nose real quick. It's a little faster than...
De Gaulle ground, Air France 237 IFR to Lisbon, ready to copy.
Air France 237 is cleared to Lisbon Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 26 right climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Well, this doesn't seem right.
Frequency is 125.7 squawk trade 523.
Whoa, hold on a second here. We're missing something, aren't we? Look at that. What are we missing, folks?
Air France 237, please acknowledge.
Something
Air
is
France
not right
237
there.
cleared to
Look
Lisbon
at that.
Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 26
Hello,
right
Joseph.
climb,
Well,
maintaining
I'm
11,000 feet.
otherwise okay, but all
Departure on
my systems are not.
125.7 squawk tree 523.
Air France 237, read back.
Yeah.
Contact
Look at that.
ground on 121.61. Good day.
Okay, we've got a problem, folks. We've got a huge problem. Okay, hold on a second. Let's restart this. Wow. Well, if we can't...
De Gaulle ground, Air France
Yeah, see,
237
normally
ready
all
to
that...
copy
Okay,
IFR.
we're going to have to... Hold on, I'm going to have to refile this flight. I'm going to have to redo... Let's see what we get if we start on the runway. Sorry about that, folks. That is not the way we want to do it. All of our systems are dark. Man. That is not how I want to start the flight. All right, let's see. And if we can't do it there, we're just gonna have to, I'll see if we can't come up with something else. Man. That is not good. Unbelievable. All right, well, hopefully this gets this fixed. Alright, let's try this. Hello, Mason. Sorry, I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I've just gotten this unexpected issue with the aircraft, so let me try to solve that, and then I'll look at the chat here in a second. Okay.
De Gaulle Tower, Air France 237 at runway 26 right, ready for departure IFR to Lisbon.
Air France 237 altimeter 30.74 wind 049er at 8. Cleared for takeoff runway 26 right.
074.
Cleared for takeoff runway 26 right, Air France 237.
Okay, at least those are on. That's the important part. Alright, so we got at least we have that. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. So let's get this set first. $3074. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Wow. Okay, there's that. It's busted. Oh. Our flight director is on. Flaps are down. Let's get the flight plan up. Sorry, I'm okay. Alright, let's get the parking brake off. Let's get in here. That was highly unexpected. Okay, well, yeah, we should have taxied forward a little bit more, but
Air France 237 contact Paris Center on 125.7. Good day.
125.7 Air France.
and away we go.
Paris Center, Air France 237 is passing 2,100 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
Air France 237 Paris Center altimeter 30.74 continue to PG 263 as planned.
Boy, some really low clouds or something there. Wow, they didn't even. Okay, we're on our way. Oh man, that is a problem. I don't know. That's unusual. We haven't had that problem in a while, and it's interesting because I just realized that somebody had talked about that they were, well, it was in the 777-300ER, was talking in the forums about how they were having problems with the dark screens. And I just was checking to see if they had tried the rolling cache sort of thing. As I said, I had the problems with the A320, and then I did the rolling cache, and it seemed to fix the problem. But they moved the moderators for the forums, moved it to a third-party bug, and, you know, because heaven forbid somebody just says, hey, I've got this issue, does anybody have a quick workaround? Or any kind of workaround, so...
Climb and maintain flight level 220. Climb and maintain flight level 220, Air France 237.
So yeah, that's a bit odd that we would have, you know, when we do our startup stuff, like the screens do not come on. I find that because we didn't have that problem the day before yesterday when we did the startup and did the flight. So I don't know what has happened that is causing that glitch. So crazy stuff. Well, hopefully the rest of our flight goes well. Yeah, for something that didn't happen, it's like, I don't know, something happened between, let's see, we did that on Wednesday. Wait, no, we did that on Tuesday. So what would have happened between Tuesday and today that is causing that, you know, that's very odd. I don't know, there's something not right. Alright, so we're going to head towards Lisbon here, kind of. Wow, a little bit of a... Huh. Look at the... Boy, there is something really wrong with... Look at how pixelated... Right off the right wingtip there, all those clouds are just all... It's just like, yuck. What in the world is going on? Right there. I just saw it. Like, it's... Wow. Something is not right with the sim today. And I apologize in advance. I get a feeling... I hope I'm wrong, but I get a feeling we're going to have some serious issues on this flight today. I don't think we're going to make it. If I had to guess, it does not feel like we are going to get to our destination. I fully expect a crash of the system. I have a feeling we're going to get a CTD, crash to dashboard. Yeah, something doesn't feel right about this flight. What stream or... What do you mean, Mason? I don't quite understand the question. Oh. Something just doesn't seem... I don't know. Tomorrow is Friday. We are doing a flight from... Oh, we're in the Embraer 110 Papa going from Kapolei to Hilo in Hawaii. Yeah, that's tomorrow's flight. We'll be in Hawaii. So we should be able to go to standard now. Yeah. Hello, Vol. You don't have to call me sir. Okay. I don't know why. Just say hello, Rob, or hello. You don't have to call me sir. Alright, let's have a look at her. That will be at our normal time, 6:30 East Coast, 11:30 UK. I just wanted to get this one done. I know it's going to be a couple hours easily. It's 755 nautical miles, or, well, we've already been traveling, but it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. So I've got an appointment at 10 that I can't miss. So I wanted to get going early because I figured this was going to be a bit of a long flight. Okay. Well, 300. Okay, so part of it is you have to put on your flight director. Okay, but secondly, once you take off, you need to throttle back to the CL mode. That's probably why you're getting the overspeed. If you're in CL, then and once you go there, the auto throttle will engage. Okay, make sure all your flaps are up as well from takeoff. And then it should manage the speed correctly. Okay. Generally, what will happen is either you're not in the correct setting for the flight once you take off. So just remember, I always do it like a moment after. I just go ahead and go right to CL from the toga position, the takeoff go around, or full throttle. Not even takeoff go around. I think it's like a... So yeah, it's the very far setting. I use that for takeoff, and then once I'm airborne and climbing, I throttle it back to the CL. Auto throttle engages, and no, CL, not CH. CL, climb. That's your... Okay, Mason. Well, you can always catch it on the replay, afterwards. That's fine. I appreciate it though. So I go full throttle for takeoff, all the way, that very top notch. Once you pull back, once you are climbing, you want to adjust your throttle to that marker right there. That's CL for climb. Okay. But that should engage your auto throttle, but make sure before you take off your flight director is on. All that, it kind of helps the system, all kind of talks to one another, okay? And then make sure you put your flaps up from takeoff, because you should be taking off at about 10-degree flap. Once you're airborne, I just go ahead and retract the landing gear. 88 at cruising.
Climb and maintain flight
Well,
level 290,
it'll change over.
of 280 knots, Air France 237.
290. Well, I'm not gonna. My system's programmed, so I can't throttle that back. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you. 88 at cruising. Well, it should just. All you have to do once you take off, all you have to really do is maintain your, or update the altitude. Okay. Now in the Boeing systems, if you have, once you take off, you can engage, and before you take off, you have the flight director on. Once you engage the autopilot and the navigation modes, if you put in your expected cruising altitude, it'll just keep going right on up. So, but yeah, so that should, hopefully that, because I used to do that when I first flew it. I was like, why am I overspeeding? And so as long as you have all that stuff, you should be fine. So, and you just engage your, but there you go. You're welcome. Hopefully I explained that and it helps you. So, all right. So I think we're finally on our way. Fingers crossed we don't have any significant issues. It's just been a weird morning already. None of our screens came on when we were at the gate and we started up. How do you sub? You just hit the subscription button. It's right there in the thing. So right below the video, I believe. Right next to the description of the flight. The title, I think. It should be right there. And please make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live, or that way you can watch the video later on if you can't be there in the live stream. So yeah, something is not right with our systems. I'm gonna have to, once we conclude this flight, fingers crossed that we actually make it all the way to Lisbon without any major issues the rest of the way. I'm gonna have to restart the game, and hopefully I'm gonna have enough time to redo that and then get my appointment at 10 o'clock. Luckily I don't have, good morning Mick, how are you, sir? Luckily I don't have to go anywhere for my appointment. I just have to get on my computer and do a video conference appointment. So sorry, I gotta drink some coffee. Am I on a Voltana? Or am I on Voltana? Volanta. Oh, Volanta. I don't know why I thought it said Voltana. Volanta. I'm not sure what that is, Mason. But what is it with people just coming in and putting the wow? I don't quite understand that. What does that mean? Could you elaborate a little bit, please, Manav? Sorry about that. Thank you. I was blowing my nose, and so I found Volanti, which is a Italian app for Microsoft Flight Simulator, I think, Mason. But since I don't speak Italian, I don't know how that works. As far as the VR, I'm on the Xbox Series S. I don't use VR. If you do, congratulations. I know some people fly VR in Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's fantastic. I don't have the means to have a VR system, and I don't know that I would be able to stream VR. So, yeah. I think that's the only one I found on the App Store, Mason, is Volanti, but it's Italian, and since I don't speak Italian, other than Tifosi and Ferrari, that's the only Italian I know. That's the only Italian that ever mattered to me, except a few spare years, which we won't get into, but yeah. But thank you, though, for telling me about that. If it was in English, I would certainly have download it or use it or whatever, but yeah.
Air France 237, contact Paris Center on 119.825. Good day.
Going to 119.825 Air
I
France
wish-
237. Paris Center Air
I
France 237
I took a
is passing
class
flight
in.
level 270, climbing flight level 290.
Wow, look.
Air France 237, Paris Center, continue to 083 RL as planned.
Wow, our it's like we kind of we're having that tough time climbing still. Yeah, our climb kind of just really slowed down. Wow, that's twice now. Two cowards.
Center on 130.9. Good day.
130.9.
What is
Air
going
France
on?
237. Bordeaux Center Air France 237 is at flight level 280, climbing flight level 290.
Air France 237, Bordeaux Center,
I
continue
think
to
it is
083 RL as
9
planned.
and oh, okay. Yeah, I have an iPhone, so I could look on to see if it's in the App Store. 9 November. I don't see. No, it may not be an app on my iPhone. Yeah. That's okay. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think we've got a problem with the live weather again.
Overspeed.
Yep,
Overspeed.
okay. The live weather's messed up again.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Yep. Alright, we're gonna have to fly with the
Air
weather
France
off.
237, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Doggone it.
Climb and maintain flight level 360 Air France 237.
Yeah. Well, there it was. The infamous bug with the temperatures and everything. Farming sim. Well, I'll be honest. I had to take that off. I mean, I don't. The problem is I don't have a lot of space on my Xbox, And so, shoot, you're the first person that's actually asked about the farming sim. I'll tell you what, if you watch, yeah, well, not to, I'll answer your question in a moment, Mason. I think, Mick, what happened was that all right, guess I'm gonna have to go this way. We had those kind of wonky sort of temperatures again. So I think that's why that happened. So yeah, this flight has been plagued with problems. You missed it. We were at the gate. None of the screens came on. I restarted it. Screen still didn't come on. Now we're having this issue. So yeah. Anyway, Farm Sim. Golly. Well, I guess we could not do trains this coming Sunday, but man, oh boy. Because it didn't seem like we were getting a lot of viewers on the farm thing. So I went back to the trains, because I did miss doing the trains. I'll tell you what, how about, Mason, how about on the 23rd, we'll do a farm sim, okay? Because I'm kind of committed already this Sunday to the trains. So the 23rd we'll do the farm, okay? So yeah, we'll do it then. Now this has been ripe with problems. I don't quite understand why this is happening now. This doesn't make much sense. But there's a lot happening, it seems, that does not make much sense. Well, at least we got that dealt with. But I feel kind of bad because now we had this nice weather. And now it's ruined everything, so... Now we're having that problem. See, now we're having this weird porpoise-like effect. See, look at that. Yeah, this problem is just, this flight is just nothing but plagued with problems. Yeah, we'll do it on the 23rd, Mason. I just have to, I'll have to move some stuff off of the Xbox in order to download Farm Sim again. So yeah, I run out of room for. I know, Mick. See, that's the problem. Now that I did one thing and now I'm going back, it's, yeah, I run out of space very quickly. So, I know everybody wants to see different things. Wow, look at this. This is... What is going on? It's like we're just struggling.
Airfrance 237, contact Brest Center on 123.75. Good day.
Well,
123.75.
alright, we turned off the live weather. It feels like we're just struggling to get to our...
Level 340, climbing flight level 360.
Airfrance 237 Brest Center, continue to 083 RL as planned.
Wow. Yeah, I have... getting this sinking feeling like that this flight is just, we might as well just trash it. And just 3 days ago, or three, you guys got to be kidding me with this crap. Come on, YouTube, you guys need to get a handle on this crap. What the hell? I just like my Xbox. Well, yeah, hey, no worries, Mason. Whether you play on Xbox or PlayStation, whatever you do, it's all good. Anyway,
Bordeaux Center Air France 237 is at flight level 345, climbing flight level 360.
Air France 237 Bordeaux Center, continue to 083, your oil is planned.
Yeah, it's not.
Air France 237, contact Bordeaux Center on 124.2. Good day.
Going to
Boy, we are really struggling to get to 360. Look at this.
Bordeaux Center Air France 237 is at flight level 350, climbing flight level 360.
Air France 237 Bordeaux Center, continue to 083 RL as planned.
All right, there's 5. Man. Even with the weather off, it's almost impossible. It's like, what happened between... We flew in the A320, no issues, I don't think, on... No, we did have an issue with the weather. We turned off the weather and we turned it back on. It was fine. But the systems all worked accordingly. It's just, man, I don't know what's happening today. There's just something completely wrong with the systems, it seems. Yeah, we'll do the farm on the 23rd. I know. Well, you know what? How about this? Just so that everybody's happy. We're going to do 3 streams on the 23rd. Okay, we're going to do the farm, we're going to do trains, and we'll do our scenic flight. There we go. Done. We're going to do 3 streams on that Sunday. That way everybody's happy. All right, looks like we're finally getting there, but man, what a trip to get there. Oh no, I'll do all 3. So no, it's not a problem at all. I like it too. I just, you know, it wasn't getting a lot of views because it's a very monotonous, you know, sort of thing, and it's only me, and so, you know, it can get a bit, you know, it can be a bit much for one person, but, you know, I tried to, you know, it didn't seem like it was getting a lot of attention on the channel, so we went back to the trains, and I can't win for losing. You know, it's fine. We'll all right. Well, I think we're finally there. I think hopefully things have finally settled down. Man, this has just been insane. Alright, well, hopefully... I think I know where we are. No, that's not it. Is it? No, we're not there. Problem I have, I got too many to get on with, not even started. Well, plus, Mick, the other issue too is that not everybody who's doing the work with you is going to get the all the trophies or whatever. You know, you're the only one getting the trophies. Oh, Deshaun. So yeah, you're in a bad position. If you do it all on your own, it's, you know, it's not so much fun. But when you're working with other people, they're not getting anything out of it. You're getting all the trophy stuff. So I don't know if it means that you would have to change hosts of the game so that everybody else gets their trophies as well, and then that's a lot of work. So anyway, all right. Well, it seems like we finally calmed down. Fingers crossed that we actually make it to our destination and are able to land. But I apologize in advance if we do get, the game does crash. 19, Mason. I don't have 22 yet. You know, all these games that came out, it's all fine and good, but I have limited space, so it's like, and of course Microsoft Flight Simulator takes up the most space on my Xbox, and then Train Sim's right behind that, and then I've got Destiny on there right now, but I'll, you know, in preparation for our farming stream, I'll delete Destiny, and then we'll do the farm thing. I've got to get an extended storage for my Xbox. But I was hoping by now they would have come down in price, but they're still pretty darn expensive. So yeah. So anyway. Alright, fingers crossed we make it to Lisbon, Portugal. Humberto Delgado Airport in Lisbon. Now, interestingly enough, why is that? No, it's too high of an auto brake. That's perfect. What was I getting ready to say? Yeah, so hopefully, knock on fake wood. Oh, you don't, no, don't worry about that, Mason. No, it's fine. You don't if you don't have Xbox Live, don't go spending money. I'm not really looking for more players right now. You know, I don't mind doing this stuff on my own, quite honestly. It's fine. It's just that what we were talking about is on Farm Sim 22, if you have multiplayer, the multiplayer doesn't share the you don't get the trophies. So only the person who is like the host of the farm or whatever, I think, gets the trophies, unless you host, you know, like there's a bunch of workarounds, but it's like nothing's guaranteed. It's just, it seems to be a bit of a hot mess. So if you don't have live, it's perfectly fine. Don't go getting yourself into a, you know, spending a bunch of money and all that you don't need to spend. It's okay. So it's quite all right. I wonder if that's why we had that problem. change this to standard. Oops. I never tinker with that one. I always do my stuff here, but I wonder if that caused part of the problem as well. So, no, Mason, trust me. It's not, you don't have to do that. It's perfectly fine. And before I invite people into something like that, I feel like I need to know you a bit more beforehand. So, I don't know you all that well yet. So, give it time, and then if we get to that point, then I'll be happy to have you on, but not yet, okay? There's only a few people in the chat that I know very well that so if you don't have live, you don't need to go getting, don't go spending money you don't need to spend. Okay, trust me, it's not, but I appreciate the idea. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I don't want you spending money you don't need to spend, first off. But secondly, I don't know you well enough to invite you into a stream with me either. So give it time. Just keep coming in and hanging out, interact, and it'll be fine. Okay? So, yeah. There's only a handful, like Mick I know, Chris I know, Mela, I've known them for a couple years. I've only started talking to you today, so yeah. But I appreciate your enthusiasm. Don't get me wrong. I don't want you to think I'm not appreciative of your offer, but I am. But I don't really know you well enough yet to have you in the stream.
Air France 237 Brest Center, continue as planned.
Just bought the Logitech Extreme 3D Pro joystick. Congratulations, mayonnaise. Good for you. I don't think, not that I know, but you never know. Somebody might use it here. I don't use it. I just use a standard wireless Xbox controller. Love Flight 2020. Well, we love it too, despite its issues, its problems, whatever. Yeah, we've had a bit of a problematic flight so far this morning, but I think we've got it. It's kind of stabilized, and we've got 513 nautical miles to go. Why? I kind of figured that's why you were here talking about it, mayonnaise. So, yeah, I don't use anything other than my standard Xbox controller because I don't have the space for all the peripherals to mount everything like on the desktop or like on a desk edge and everything. If I had a fancy computer system, I think I would build a virtual flight deck of some kind. Anne's vlog, love you. Oh, okay, thank you. Well, I will tell you, on the Xbox, it is got its share of problems. It's not the same as what you can expect on the PC. And just like what we had with the weather, it's hit and miss. Sometimes everything works just fine, but you never know when it's not going to work. There's no warning. So that's the tricky part. Just like today, this flight started off rather abnormally, and might have something to say if I started to build a whole, yeah. Well, luckily, I think my lovely lady, we're not married, but and we don't live in the same location, but if I wanted to do that, if we had the means and space, I think she would be perfectly fine. She knows that I do this. Oh, you are on the Xbox. You have to be on the X or S. The older generation Xboxes won't. I don't think you can get it on the Xbox One. Yeah. So, if you can get a Series S, that's what I have. It works. It works. But, yeah. So I would... is it easy to get into? Well, you have to be willing to practice at things. You have to put in the time, kind of. I would recommend, don't do like a lot of people do. They get it and they go, oh, I gotta go right into the jetliner. You have X-Plane 11. Oh, on your PC then, basically. So don't just jump into the A320. Learn how to fly. Go through. They have like what I consider to be like a virtual flight school. So go through all that first. Learn the basics and just practice with the 152, which is what you're going to learn to fly in. Just practice with that. Get comfortable with that first, and then once you feel like you're comfortable, like I stayed, I think I was in the 152 for about a month, maybe a month and a half, before I started branching out into the other aircraft. And so don't rush it, just enjoy it and learn and keep practicing at things until you get comfortable, and then, you know, eventually it all becomes kind of, you know, you're like, oh, I know what to do here. And yeah. So don't try to rush into things and go, because then what I think, oh, well, that's, yeah, that is a bit long of a flight. You will be, that's, yeah. You will, no, that's probably not a very sensible thing to do. Even if I took the 747 to San Francisco to Hawaii, that's a long flight. So don't try to do too much right away. Just do the flight school stuff, and then just find, if you know where your local airport is, then just, you know, find that in the flight sim and take off from there, fly out for a little bit, and then land at the same airport and just kind of do that sort of thing, you know. So that way you get, you know, because then you're like, oh, wow, this is my home airport, you know, or something close enough. Doesn't have to be like the big city airport, but just like a regional airport, you know, something, you know, fairly small that if you fly the 152, you know, it's not going to be a big deal. And just practice all that stuff. You know, get used to the landing and everything. Yeah, well, that's, yeah, you're just basically going over, that is a short distance, but, yeah. But in a prop plane across the Pacific, yeah, no, that's, I think after about the third or fourth hour, you'd be like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm done. So just do the small stuff first. Get comfortable with the plane. Get comfortable with flying, and then you'll be fine. Yeah. So I would do that. You know, try not to do too much right away, and just get. I know what you meant. You know, get comfortable. you know. And then once you feel like, okay, I think I've learned enough here, then now I would recommend, as an additional thing, you get the Jetliner Academy. It's a tutorial on the A320 from a real-world A320 pilot. So it'll go through the whole startup procedures and everything. Highly recommend that. And then pretty much the lessons you learn in that, you can apply it to any, well, if you think about it, you could apply it to almost any flying situation that you might find yourself in. So I highly recommend that. Hello Classical Sheet Music. Wow, that's an interesting name. So yeah, I would recommend do that. And then, because a lot of the information that he gives you in the tutorial, and there's a website you can download the textbook, so to speak, from there. And yeah, I don't know about that, but you know, it I would get that, and then you can, you know, go through all that stuff. And again, it's all stuff that you don't, just because you do it once doesn't mean you can't do it again in the future. You know, if you need to go through it several times just to get comfortable before you fly in the A320, then there you go. There's plenty. There's, you know, I can't say that I'm an expert in flight sim. Mick might tell you otherwise. Sit behind you for 9 hours. Yeah, I don't think the wife would go for that. There's a lot of videos out there that people have done tutorials on the on startup stuff and everything. So if you get stuck, there's plenty of videos out there. Some people don't. I like to try to use the automated checklist, especially in the A320. It goes a lot quicker, so that we can push back and get in the air fairly quickly. Unfortunately, today we had that issue with the displays not coming on when we turned on the power and everything. So I think an update of some kind is coming out today, but it won't be till later in the day. Get what to Inverness first. I mean, that's not a bad flight. Yeah, just well, it depends on which version you buy. The standard only has a handful of planes, and then there's the let's see, what is it? You have the standard version, which has, I can tell you for sure how many. Base planes, you have 3 turboprops, 2 airliners, 1 jet, which is the CJ4, the Cessna Citation, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 prop planes. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So you got 20 planes. It's just in the base game. So that is more than enough to get you started. So then you have Deluxe Edition. And then you have your... So 20 planes and 30 handcrafted airports with the standard. Deluxe gets you 5 more planes and 35 handcrafted airports. The Premium Deluxe is 30 planes and 40 handcrafted airports. So I think 20 planes, if you are not, or if you're new kind of, then I would start there. with the base edition and just work through those and enjoy those, because there's plenty of stuff that you can fly there. So hold on a second. Well, but I mean, okay. Well, first off, Siddharth, I can't help you because I'm not on the PC version. I highly recommend
Going to 118
the best place for you to go. I'm going to tell you.
Madrid Center Air France 237 flight level 360.
Air France 237 Madrid Center, continue to minimum as planned.
So go to the forums right there. That will probably be the best place for you to go, because you have a mod that I am on the Xbox. I do not have mods, so I can't really help you. But when it comes to this, you know, if you've got the ability to afford the highest version, which is not going to be cheap, okay, just, you know, if you want those 10 additional planes, it's going to cost, and those extra, you know, for those airports and all that, if you're willing to pay it, then go for it. But if you're not sure, before you start investing a bunch of money, I would start with the standard version first. Get your feet wet with that, and then you can upgrade to the higher editions, okay? Just because you get, you know, with the premium deluxe, you get, that's a total of 10 additional aircraft. Well, I always... Well, however you get help. I usually, for PC users, because it sounds like he's on a PC, I generally say go to the forums, because that's where most of the PC players are. Well, okay, Caleb, fine. That's his. I'm just saying I would start off with the thing, but you know, whatever. Yes, mayonnaise. The game does have all the airports. However, with the different editions, you have, so the two higher ones, they've made the airports better. Well, fine. I mean, but to each their own, Caleb. I'm just saying that if he's new, it might be better to start off on the standard edition. That way he gets a feeling that if it's something that he is, if he's going to invest the time and money. If he does it right away and then he feels like, oh, this isn't working for me and I give up, he's out that money. So the standard edition, on the Xbox, if you have Game Pass, it's free. So, but, you know, I'm trying to offer him the viable options, give him what you get. But, you know, for many people, if they've never done it before, it's, well, I'm just giving him the bigger picture. If he wants to buy the high-end edition, that's on him. I'm just saying that it's, you know, for new players, maybe because there's so many problems, if they invest that much money in a game that doesn't always work, or with aircraft that don't always work, if you start with the cheaper version, and you know, but it's up to him. and his wife. I'm not getting upset. It's just that you're, but you've got your viewpoint. I've got my viewpoint. Okay. Jesus, I can't win for losing. Honestly, it's I'm not, you're offering your opinion. So I'm just saying, because I'm just giving him the options. My suggestion would be to start with the standard, but it's up to him if he wants to buy the high-end edition. That's all. He asked for, what do you get? You offered your side of things. That's fine. But, people come in asking me questions, and then everybody jumps in with their version, and then mayonnaise, do what you... I do like opinions. Oh my goodness. Well, to each their own. I do want opinions, but, if I answer an opinion, then it's like I'm chastised for giving an opinion. So I try to, people come here and ask me for help, and I try to point them in the areas that I think might best help them. Because since I'm not on the PC, for instance. I know you're not mayonnaise. I just, you asked how many planes are there, and that's why I wanted to give you what comes with what. Again, it's up to you and your wife what you think you can afford to do for the flight sim. Especially if you are new to the game, what is the best option for you? I think that's the important conversation. I don't know, Mason. I've never played X-Plane 11, so I couldn't tell you. That I've heard that is a whole different beast altogether from Flight Sim. Some people prefer it over Flight Sim. So we took off from Charles de Gaulle International in Paris, France. We're going to Humberto Delgado Airport in Lisbon, Portugal. Yesterday I get chided for flying in a 737 MAX with the KLM livery going from Mumbai to Dubai. Today this. I just... Oh. Yeah. I should have just stayed in bed today. Yes, there is. I think there is, Mayo, because you have, so when you fly the 152, it's initially, you're going to struggle to control the plane. You're going to, I'm not upset. I'm just, yesterday was just an odd day. Somebody came in and started talking nonsense because I was happened to fly a plane that they didn't particularly like, and then, you know, anyway. So there is a different feel, and that's why you need to practice, get the feel down in the 152 and the landings and everything, and then, you know, once you feel more confident with that. But again, other people might say, oh, I just bypassed all that and I just went right into this. It's up to you. I don't know what else to say, because it's you have to know what you feel comfortable with doing, because it does require a bit of time for you to kind of get to grips with things. Okay. If you know all that going in and you have the time to commit to it, it can be very rewarding. But again, it's a simulator that today something works, tomorrow it doesn't. Okay. So there you go. I'll leave it at that. I don't know what else to say. So exactly, Mayo. I understand that too. It's just I thought I had this idea in my head that this is my channel and my stream, and I do want people to come in and interact, but at the end of the day, it's my content. Okay. Everybody can be one of the things, and I've seen it before in the forums, is people can be very passionate about, I'll give you for an example. Somebody yesterday posted in the forums, and I did a snapshot because it seemed like the moderators were going to shut the post down. And they were very upset about the Xbox simming community, that they felt that the Xbox simming community does not deserve anything, that they should not exist, and that Microsoft totally screwed over the loyal customers of the PC side of things. And how dare they mess up their product? Their sim is not supposed to be for the Xbox community. How dare they go this route? Now, that doesn't sound very, whereas other people who are PC players like, hey, we're glad the Xbox players are here. We want more people to experience this, because in their view, if people feel good enough about it, they will probably purchase a PC and play the game on the PC. Hey Chris, it's going okay. Which is the easiest plane to fly? They're not. Well, they feel that because there's been so many problems that the servers are overloaded with the Xbox players. That's, I think, the short version of the story, mayonnaise. Okay, which plane is easiest to fly? I found, quite honestly, I like the, I don't know if it's one of the ones that's like a, hold on a second. I prefer the one that I've enjoyed the most is the King Air 350i, but I don't think, is that a turboprop? Let's have a look. I think it might be. Yeah, I highly recommend the 350i once you are ready to graduate out of the 152. It's really a fun plane to fly. It's pretty easy to get to terms with. Yeah, I really, once I got out of the 152 and I kind of tinkered around and I found the King Air 350i, and I love it. So, yeah. But, even with the standard edition, you've got 20 planes, and there's enough in there that you can try. And also realize not everything is going to have an autopilot system, so you have to be ready to fly essentially manually. And it's really a personal choice. Like I find the A320 easy, but I'm not flying it. The autopilot's on. As far, if you have a plane that has an autopilot system, it makes things a lot easier, because once you get airborne and you switch on all the systems, you can just kind of sit back and relax and look around. You can go outside the plane, do one of these numbers, and you can kind of just see what's happening and all that. So that helps out immensely. But as far as, if you, like, I think I flew the 350i manually, VFR, it wasn't that bad. It's just, you have to know how much time you're going to spend in the sim, what you're going to do to improve your flying, because that's kind of important as well. You want to progress in your flying. So, yeah. Because at least then, mayonnaise, my feeling is, and again, this is my viewpoint, is if for some reason you don't like it, okay, let's say you give it a month, right, with just the standard, and you're just like, oh, this is not for me, it's just too much stuff to learn and all that, you're not out a lot of money, which I'm sure would be easier for you to, deal with the wife on that front, because you still have to do that. So, well, I guess, I'm assuming, but, in order to keep the wife happy, but that, again, I don't know what your relationship's like. I'm just, going off past experience, not that I've ever been married, but I think you could at least sell her on the standard. If you have the Game Pass, the standard doesn't cost you anything. So that's another good thing. You're only paying for the Game Pass edition, or, you're paying for the Game Pass subscription, which is going to be far cheaper than the high-end edition of the flight sim. So if you have all those things, then at least you're not paying anything out of pocket. If it doesn't work for you after a while, you just remove it from your Xbox. Bam. You've not spent anything else additionally. So that's it's easy to get excited about the sim, but then when you go like, man, there's a lot to learn. Yeah. Jersey to Guernsey. I don't know what the distance is like on that. I mean, if you've got the time and it works, then why not? My feeling is you always, if you can, start off with your home airport. Usually like a regional airport, not like JFK or New York LaGuardia or anything like that, but just find a public airport near where you live, and then just fly in and out of there, or go from there to a destination, maybe about 45 minutes away. So you climb out and you cruise, and then you descend and you do your pattern entry. Okay. That way you feel like, wow, I'm home, you know, you kind of get more of a connection with home. And you can actually see, you know, when you fly over your hometown in the air, it's an amazing feeling. And then just practice with that and use that as your base while you're learning, you know. And then start going out for longer flights and go like, okay, you know, a few weeks ago I went from here to here and it was only a 30-minute flight. Now I'm going to try it for an hour, you know, and then just keep building it up where you get more and more comfortable and trying different things, you know. So like RAF Breeze to Norton to somewhere. I mean, if possible, yeah. I guess you could do that. No. I mean, I don't know where you live, so I can't say for sure, but if that's, you know, because when I first started, I you know, my hometown in California, there was a small airport, and so I would just kind of do. You can, but I think it's easier to do on the PC side than on the Xbox, because building the next flight plan sometimes doesn't always work, or the systems are not capable. I would go to the forums and look to see and ask specifically if Xbox players, how they're doing that. I don't know how that works. I've done multiple stops, but I'll stop somewhere, pop out of the flight plan, go to the world map, refile a different flight plan, and take off. But it is possible. But I just don't know how people do it, even on the Xbox side. But again, the forums, I think you could find plenty of people who would tell you how they make all that work. So now, the other thing, too, is I believe if you start off with the standard and you like it, either you can... And I put live weather on, there's a storm, could I divert? I don't know. I would just fly through the storm. You know, it might be a bumpy ride, but if you got the autopilot on, you'll be fine. Don't be afraid to fly with the live weather on. But just know that there's issues with the live weather sometimes. So take that with a grain of salt. You know, expect the unexpected with the weather. Because you can easily, you know, kind of like what we had earlier, where the weather, there's like extreme temperatures which is causing problems with the engines. So just be aware of that. I didn't fly with the live weather on for some time until I felt more comfortable with, you know, flying in general. So, yeah, I would maybe practice without it first, just for a bit, and then add that in once you feel more comfortable that your flying is better. But again, it's up to you. I know I didn't fly with live weather on for some time, and then there was times that I did that it went pretty well, but there's other times now that, and this was, you know, early last year, that the weather seemed to be pretty stable, but now it's a hot mess sometimes. So just be aware of what you're getting yourself into when you fly with the weather. It can be a very fun experience. You know, you're flying through the clouds and there's lightning around the aircraft, and you know it's a bit windy and the plane's bumping around and everything, and you know, so anyway. But again, I think a lot of questions, a lot of concerns or whatever, before you dip your toes into the sim, I highly recommend go to the forums, just have a look yourself. You know, try to get an idea of what you're getting ready to get yourself into, whether you're going to be on the PC. Yeah, I do like it. I was hoping we were going to have a nice live weather flight today, because it does add, you know, you've got to make sure you know when you're to do your altimeter readings and all that. You know, it adds a sense of realism to the flight, that you're, you know, making sure that you know, check all those things. Okay. So, but since they've gone to a different live weather system, the METAR system, it's been a mess. So you can turn the live weather off, but you could add like a cloud layer before your flight, just to add some dramatic clouds to the sky. You know, you can do some presets, and that seems to work just fine. You just don't have to worry about the altimeter reading. So if you don't, like, this doesn't look very realistic, does it? Not a cloud in the sky. That's not very real. Any tips on the settings side? No, you have to kind of figure those things out for yourself. I don't really have any tips regarding that. Yeah, I couldn't. You'll know. You'll kind of have to figure that one out. Try the different stuff. You can have all the stuff. You could have like a fully realistic flight where you could have engine failures and system failures and whatnot, or you can have it where, you know, or like unlimited fuel, so you don't have to worry about your fuel load and figuring out how much to put in each tank and everything. I don't know what you're saying, Hassan. I don't know what you're saying there. Oh, the live weather is just very simple. You go to here, and then there's a tab for the weather right there. So,
Air France 237, contact Lisbon.
now we can change.
Good day.
119.55 for Air France 237.
You know, you can
Lisbon
put.
Center Air France 237 flight level 360.
Air France 237 Lisbon Center, continue to appear.
See, like that. So even though I have the altimeter is going to stay at 299 which is the standard pressure, now we have, look at that. That looks a little bit more realistic now, doesn't it? The possibility that there's a huge storm, but is that like really, there's clouds everywhere. It's a thick cloud layer everywhere. So let's fly with this on, just so that we have a nice dramatic landing, since we had to turn the live weather off. So we should be coming into our arrival phase of the flight here shortly. So we will get ready to land here pretty soon. So yeah, we'll just leave this big old puffy clouds on for the remainder of the flight. So there's different things you can do, even if you don't fly with the live weather. You know, you can create your own sort of scene. mean, it's pretty rewarding when you're flying through weather like this, and it's real weather essentially, and you're flying through the clouds, and they're not stupid questions. And I'm sorry that things got a little heated. I apologize. I do respect other people's opinions, but at the end of the day, it is my channel, and I would like that people respect that in return. But that's, I'm not a perfect person. I have my faults and everything. So it's something I need to work on. It's a struggle for me, trust me. But you're welcome. They're not stupid questions in any way. I'm glad that you're looking into it. Do your research before you dip your toe in, and make the best decision for you. Okay? Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day too, Mayonnaise. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Good luck to you. Still one more marker to go. Oh, appreciate that. Thank you, Mayonnaise. Oh, and thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Well, hopefully between me and Caleb, you've gotten some good answers, and you can sort out the your plan. So. Caleb, if you're watching, I am sorry. I'm not mad at you necessarily. I do have my own issues. Okay, so you know how to calibrate the throttles. I can't find in the tablet. I could not tell you, Mohammed. My advice is, if you scroll up, there should be a link to the forums. That's probably your best bet, is to go there, or I would check on YouTube. Usually most of the flight sim community, they've gone over the calibration for the throttles. Yeah, I don't have a throttle system, so I can't help you there, sorry. But I'd say YouTube and the Microsoft Flight Simulator forums is probably your best bet for that information. You're welcome. Sorry I couldn't give you more information. Yeah, I'm on the Xbox. I don't have like a throttle system and everything, so I wouldn't even begin to know how to tell you to do all that. But good luck. Good morning, Amela. How are you? Nice to see you here. How are you today? I am... Alright, so 28,000 feet, so we want to go... Alright, so we're going to start our descent into Lisbon.
Lisbon Center, Air France 237. Request flight level 280.
Air France 237 descend and maintain flight level 280.
Descend and maintain flight level 280 Air France 237.
All right. I'm doing okay. This has been one heck of a flight. Or when we started, the systems were not working, so we had to take off from the runway instead of doing our nice taxi out and everything. And it's just been one of those mornings. Yeah. So there we go. It's the morning where I can't win for losing. There we go. No matter how hard I try. But I guess we are going to be done much quicker than I anticipated, which is fine. I think it's good I started early, because now I can kind of collect my thoughts before I have my appointment at 10 o'clock. So, yeah, it's been a doozy of a morning. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find a different. Well, I'm gonna have to find a different way of handling things, I guess. Because however I'm doing it doesn't seem to be good. Oh, I don't know when I might have put myself on mute because I was drinking some coffee and water. Anyway. All right, let's see. So we can kind of look out a bit here. So there's the marker up ahead of us, which is VIS. We're going to track a little bit to the right there. Southwestern, a little bit more. Let's go ahead and zoom all the way out. Oop. So basically that's what we got left in our... Oh, this looks like it's broken as well. Oh no. Alright, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. No. Oh, I really thought this was only on the Boeings. Oh, God. Okay, so our arrival marker is the one we'll see once we get past VIS. Oh, yeah, it looks like we've got a... Okay, maybe it's not broken. It just looks that way. let's just have a look once we get closer. This has just been... Probably should have just canceled today. Alright, we should have another reduction in altitude coming up. So 18,000.
Lisbon Center, Air France 237. Request flight level 180.
Air France 237 descend and maintain flight level 220. Expect flight level 180. Keep speed not above 280 knots.
Well, I
Descend
think we're
and
okay
maintain
there,
flight
huh?
level 220. Expect flight level 180. Keep speed not above 280 knots. Air France 237.
Okay. I don't think we need the dome light on. Yeah, this hasn't been as long as I was expecting it to be. A lot longer flight, but that's okay. All right, we should get our call to go to 180.
Air France 237 descent and maintain flight
we're
level 180.
only, well, we're on our approach right now, so we're almost done. Hey, Captain Platypus, how are you? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully you were well. So if we look, it does appear. So it looks like we're going to go down and then come back here and then track over that way. Yeah, it's just that the flight plan kind of overlaps, but not hopefully in a broken way. So we've been flying for almost 2 hours though. Our flight clock says an hour 41 flight time. I thought it was going to take at least 2.5, almost 3 hours, but good. Just doing a flight from Fort Wayne to Las Vegas in the I'm doing okay. Just been dealing with some well, just dealing with some craziness in some ways, but I'm doing okay otherwise. So when you make a flight, for those of you who don't know, sometimes it will give you an estimate, but that's I think the time is your cruise time. Once you get up to your cruising altitude, it'll say like 2.5 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours or whatever. That doesn't include your departure time and your departure and arrival portions of the flight. So it's hard to sometimes know exactly how long the flight is going to take. So, we're in the last part of the flight. We may be encountering some issues with the flight plan itself, but we won't know more until we get closer and we can kind of see what's getting ready to happen. And just like yesterday, if we have to, once we slow the plane down, we can let's go ahead and get this to 210 just so that we're prepared for our slow the plane down further for landing. Oh, well, congratulations on the move. Hopefully it's a good move for you. Yeah, it's been a lot on my plate, trying to be a better streamer, and I guess there's still a lot of things I need to do better. Bit difficult sometimes trying to. Well, I do my best. They're Evil Gamer 11. That's all I can do. Just try to be better than I was yesterday. Yesterday we had our hands full with the landing, the approach, and arrival and portions of the flight were essentially screwed up. And we're just waiting to see if that's going to be the case here as well. Hopefully not, but if it is, we will just slow the plane down as best as we can, and we'll put the plane on the ground manually if we have to. So, oh, thank you, Captain Platypus. I appreciate that. It's always a learning experience, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm perfectly fine with, always learning more, improving, that sort of thing. So, at least you're arriving early so you can have some time to kill if it decides to mess up your approach. Yeah. Yeah, yesterday it was. See, this is what's concerning me right here, is this part. So it looks like we're flying down this path and then coming back and then turning into the airport. And when I built the flight plan, that is not how it looked. So something is not, I don't know. It's very strange what's happening. Lately there just seems to be a lot of issues, but and see if we zoom out even a little bit. See, there's the concern right there. See, so it looks like we're supposed to go here and turn, but it's like when we get to here, we're coming back or something. See that broken line kind of thing? So I think, oops, oh shoot. How did I do a screenshot with that? Oops daisy, I almost screwed that up. So if we look at that line, right? So I'm guessing when we get to here, right? When we get around here, I'm going to have to kind of hopefully direct it to our waypoint. Would I say it's better? I never played X-Plane, so I cannot say, Evil Gamer. Did you see Allegiant is ordering then another 50 on the books? Also, most of the Max 8s will be special variants for Ryanair, so they will have extra. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I think, well, Boeing's, they're barely making it. Ooh, I gotta get down another 5,000. Like they're really hurting for money, I think.
Lisbon Center, Air France 237. Request 13,000 feet.
Air France 237 descend and maintain 13,000 feet. Keep speed not above 250 knots.
Well, we're at 210, so we're good.
Descend and maintain 13,000 feet. Keep speed not above 250 knots. Air France 237.
Yeah, Boeing needed that money, that's for sure. Okay, so that is the portion that we're going to be most concerned about, is that we get to a certain point and then it's going to want us to come back here and refly, it seems. So we're going to keep an eye on that. So once we see that, we're going to try to just go direct to our next. We'll see if we can't get that to fix itself, or try to get the plane to fix it by telling it what to do. Otherwise, we're going to be, I kind of feel like we're going to be circling around forever. See, and I thought this was only a problem with the Boeing aircraft, and now it's creeped over into the A320. So there's just a big, hot mess right now in Flight Sim. So I really don't know why we keep having these issues. I know they updated the navigation stuff with the update last week, but it seems like it's unless Legion is trying to force Airbus to give them a great deal on some Neos, which would be a brilliant move on their part. Either way, they're getting a great deal, because I'm pretty sure Boeing is giving them the best. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they need the money, so they're going to do it and see if Legion, like you said, goes to Airbus and says, well, we got all this from Boeing, what are you going to do for us? And so either way, they're getting new planes, and probably at a pretty reasonable price. Yeah, I can't really tell you, Evil Gamer. As you're seeing here, this does seem to have quite a lot of problems with the creation of our for our flight plans. It's adding in stuff for whatever reason. Don't know why, but we're going to try to deal with that as best as we can. Yeah, this is a broken... It would have us going around at least 3 times before we land. Okay. Alright, 6,000 feet.
Lisbon Center, Air France 237. Request 7,000 feet.
Alright, so we know that the field where we're landing is at 347 feet.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Keep speed not above 220 knots. Air France 237.
No, we're not a multiplayer. There is a multiplayer aspect for Microsoft Flight Simulator, but no, I'm the only one. I've turned off the live traffic and all that, so there is nobody else flying, just me. Now, if when I get my PC storage sorted out... Oh! Nice, Amela. I'm jealous. Very cool. Yeah, I'd like to step things up to the PC side, but it's... might be a while before that happens. We got some high clouds, low clouds. I like this. I got some nice drama in the sky, literally and figuratively. Ooh, through the clouds we go. Alright, let's see, when do we make our turn? Coming up, okay. When we get to that marker there. So this is going to be the point of... I don't want to say the point of no return, but that's what it feels like. Alright, real quickly, I'm going to step out for just a second. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I think so, Evil Gamer, but I'm not 100% sure. It's very difficult to tell. Because if there's things that happen along the way, the pilots can change their flight plan kind of en route. So it may increase the time or decrease the time, so it's kind of hard to say. Okay. Start slowing down here. So we could probably go to 160. So we should get a little bit more reduction in altitude coming up.
Air France 237 contact approach on 125.13. Good day.
125.13 Air France 237. Approach Air France 237 7,000 feet.
Air France 237, approach altimeter 29.9. To continue to MOB as planned.
Yep.
Approach Air France 237. Request 5,000 feet.
Air France 237, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet Air France 237.
Air France 237, descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 7,000 feet Air France 237.
Wow. Okay. Is it boring being airborne for so long? Well, no, not really. You know, it just depends.
Air France 237, you are 700 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain 7,000 feet altimeter 29.902.
Climb and maintain 7,000 feet Air France 237.
Air France 237, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet Air France 237.
Okay, so we see that. Right, I don't have a direct to.
Approach Air France 237. Request 3,000 feet.
Air France 237, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet Air France 237.
Air France 237, descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet Air France 237.
All right, this is where we're going to have to. I don't have the A318. We don't. The closest we have is the A320neo, Eagle Gamer. Yeah, we don't. The Xbox version is very limited on the aircraft type and whatnot. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and slow the plane down as much as possible. Because we are getting ready to have to switch off.
You are 19 miles north. Keep speed not above
Okay.
180 knots.
Okay,
Expect
well.
vectors ILS runway 21 approach.
Keep speed not above 180 knots. Expect vectors ILS runway 21 approach Air France 237.
Let's see what happens. We may be okay. Did he say a descend and maintain altitude? No, he did not. Okay. So there we go. It started to do its crazy, turning me back towards.
500 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet altimeter 29.902.
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet Air France 237.
Hello, Ante. Welcome. I think you were here yesterday. Nice to see you again. Alright. I'm going to have to land this thing manually, so I am not going to probably pay much attention to the chat. So I apologize in advance. Hello, Real Italian. Everybody wants to come in and say hi when I'm trying to land. It's alright. Alright, that should be our runway right there. Marker.
You are 300 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet altimeter 29.902.
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet Air France 237.
I think we should be like at 3,000 feet or something, but yeah, that's our runway right there. Pretty sure. Come on, give us our...
Air France 237, you are 900 miles north of Lisbon. Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact tower on 120.355.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Tower on 120.355 Air France 237. Tower Air France 237 8 miles north inbound ILS runway 21 approach.
Air France 237 tower. Altimeter 29.902 and 272 and 14. Cleared ILS runway 21 approach.
Cleared ILS runway 21 approach Air France 237.
Now if I put on the approach mode, let's see, does it take? Does it line it up or no? Do I have to have the...
Air France 237 wind 272 and 14.
Oh.
Cleared to land runway 21.
Cleared to land runway 21 Air France 237.
No, I don't think it's locking in. Well, maybe it will. No, it's not going to. Okay. Well, we'll leave it on. That's okay. We got this. This seems to be a bit easier to land manually than the 737 did yesterday. But at least we knew ahead of time that we were going to have this problem, and we just went ahead and did what we know works. Slow the plane down, try to descend as much as possible. So, it's all good.
500. 400. 300. 200. 100.
We're hovering over the runway again,
60,
way
50,
longer than...
40, 30, 20, retard.
Air France 237, contact ground on 121.755.
121.755 for Air France 237.
Well, we made it. Barely. Well, welcome to Lisbon, Portugal, everybody.
Ground Air France 237 taxi to the gate.
Air France 237 taxi to gate 0 via taxiway Charlie, cross runway 17 Alpha.
Taxiing to gate 0 using taxiway Charlie, cross runway 17 Alpha, Air France 237.
Guess I put on the... I might have accidentally done that. Yeah, it's man. That's twice in a row that we've had to land manually, and it does not always go according to plan, that's for sure. But we made it. Alright, well, I do appreciate everybody coming in today, hanging out. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Lisbon, Portugal. Local time is, let's see, 1, 2, probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, not sure. We know that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures. We're glad that you chose us today. Please join us tomorrow in the Embraer 110 Papa in Hawaii. (6:30 Eastern, 11:30 UK). Adjust your times accordingly. Now this runway, from what I saw on the charts, this runway that we're getting ready to cross is no longer in use. It is a temporary parking spot. We're used for temporary parking now for the airport. So yeah, this runway, yeah, the one that we're getting ready to cross, where is it? Oh, there it is in front of us. There's another. What we got here? Oh, that's the A320neo. Just like our plane. Yeah, this runway here is no longer in use. So it's not even an option. Yep, that's the one, Evil Gamer. That's the one. Now, why that's parked right near a taxiway, that's beyond me, but sure, why not? Yeah, runway 17/35. Well, thank you, Amela. It was certainly better than the one yesterday. We didn't have the kangaroo effect, but will you fly to BLQ one day? BLQ. I have flown a bit around the coast of Italy, so it's very possible that I've already gone there. So before we were starting to do A340, I do not have that one. Again, the limitate on the Xbox, we only have the A320 from Airbus. We may get an A380 eventually, but I don't know. But if I kind of feel like the Airbus family is somewhat similar to the Boeing family of aircraft, that once, if you've been in one, you can pretty much you've been in one, you've been in them all. But I don't know what the A340 is like to fly. I wish I could say yes, but I can't say that for sure. All right, 2 hours 20. So yeah, our stream has gone a little bit longer because we did restart the, or we had to fly from the runway there at Charles De Gaulle Airport in Paris instead of doing our taxi out. So we made it, quite surprisingly, because this flight has been fraught with problems from the very get-go. No claims for today's landing. Oh, good, much better today. Yes, it was. Although it was just, it's hard to stay lined up, that's for sure. So I was hoping that the system would take over and kind of guide us in, but it didn't, so it is what it is. Oh, look at that, the jet, they're automatically connected. Watch this, the door's gonna open. Watch. Come on, door open. There it goes. Ta-da! We didn't even have to ask. They were like, I think these passengers want to get off the plane now. Alright, there it is. Let's go ahead and shut it down. Come on, stop the engines. Where's my battery? Hold on just a second, folks. We'll get it. Why is... Where's my battery stuff? See, now it's not even giving me the option to shut down. Gotta find the battery switch and then we can shut it off. Or maybe if we just turn off all the lights too. As soon as I can find the battery, then we'll be done. Oh, there we go. There we go, finally. All right, take care. All right, finally. 2 hours and 11 minutes flying time. All right, that's going to be it for today, folks. I will see you all tomorrow in the Embraer 110 Papa. Hopefully it's going to be a much better flight. Fingers crossed. We've had 2 days in a row of absolute insanity with the flight plans and everything. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I will see you all later. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're almost at the weekend. See you then. Peace. Live long and prosper. Yes, Abella.